My beloved child, there is a reason you were guided to this moment. There is a reason these words found you today. Do not skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is not an ordinary message. It is not a random story. It is a reflection of an energy, a connection, and a chain of events that may already be moving behind the scenes of your life. Last night, while you were focused on your own journey, while you were thinking about your future, your dreams, your questions, and your hopes, someone connected to your destiny had an evening that was far more meaningful than it appeared. At first, it seemed like an ordinary night. Just another evening among countless evenings. Just another conversation among countless conversations. Yet what happened during those hours carried a strange significance. A detail emerged. A name surfaced. A memory returned. And the most surprising part is that it may connect to someone you already know. Do not skip. Stay with me, because every second matters. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life that appear small when they happen, but later become impossible to ignore. Imagine a single conversation changing the direction of a journey. Imagine one unexpected mention bringing two paths closer together. Imagine hearing a familiar name in a place where nobody expected it. Last night was filled with one of those moments. Your soulmate, the person whose path is mysteriously connected to yours, found themselves in a situation that seemed simple on the surface. Yet beneath the surface, something remarkable was unfolding. There was laughter. There were stories. There were memories shared. And somewhere within that evening, a connection appeared. A connection that pointed toward someone familiar. Someone known. Someone who may already exist within the edges of your world. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Think about how many people cross our paths every year. Think about how many names we hear, how many faces we recognize, and how many conversations we forget. Yet every once in a while, one detail refuses to disappear. One detail keeps returning. One detail keeps showing up. Last night carried that kind of energy. A story was told. A memory was mentioned. A person came up in conversation. And although nobody realized it at the time, the mention of that person may become important later. Very important. Your soulmate may not have known why they suddenly felt curious about a certain topic. They may not have understood why a particular memory returned. They may not have recognized why a certain name felt familiar. But sometimes the biggest clues arrive quietly. They do not announce themselves. They do not demand attention. They simply appear and wait to be noticed. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Because the deeper we go into this message, the clearer the picture becomes. Imagine sitting at a table and hearing a story that unexpectedly reminds you of someone. Imagine hearing a detail that makes you pause. Imagine feeling that strange sensation where something sounds familiar even though you cannot immediately explain why. That feeling matters. That feeling is often the beginning of discovery. Last night carried that feeling. Something connected. Something aligned. Something clicked into place. What makes this evening so interesting is not the event itself. It is the meaning behind it. Events happen every day. Conversations happen every day. Meetings happen every day. But occasionally, one conversation becomes different. Occasionally, one evening becomes memorable. Occasionally, one simple moment starts a chain reaction that reaches much further than anyone expected. Your soulmate left that evening carrying a thought they could not completely explain. A thought that stayed with them. A thought that continued to echo after the night was over. Why did that name come up? Why did that memory return? Why did that story feel significant? Questions like these often appear before answers arrive. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine this. Somewhere in your life, there may be a person you consider ordinary. Maybe a friend. Maybe an acquaintance. Maybe someone you have not spoken to in a while. Maybe someone who appears only occasionally. What if that person is connected to a future chapter that has not yet opened? What if the reason they appeared in conversation last night is because their role is bigger than anyone realizes? Life has a remarkable way of connecting people through invisible threads. Threads we cannot see until the moment everything makes sense. The most fascinating part is that nobody planned this. Nobody arranged it. Nobody expected it. Yet the connection appeared anyway. That is often how meaningful moments begin. They arrive naturally. Quietly. Unexpectedly. Stay with me. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that makes this story even more interesting. The energy surrounding that evening was filled with curiosity. Questions were asked. Thoughts were exchanged. Possibilities were explored. It was not simply a routine interaction. It carried the feeling of discovery. The feeling that something important was about to emerge. And although the answers were not fully revealed, the clues were impossible to ignore. Your soulmate may have smiled and continued with their evening. They may have gone home believing it was just another night. Yet deep inside, something remained unfinished. Something remained unresolved. A feeling lingered. A thought stayed alive. A curiosity continued to grow. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever walked away from a conversation only to realize later that it meant more than you originally thought? Many of the most important moments in life begin exactly that way. They appear ordinary. Then they reveal their significance later. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The story does not end with the evening itself. In many ways, that was only the beginning. The real significance lies in what comes next. Because every meaningful connection creates momentum. Every important conversation creates movement. Every unexpected detail opens a new possibility. Right now, there are pieces of a puzzle moving into place. Some pieces are visible. Others remain hidden. Some clues have already appeared. Others are still on their way. But what matters is this: last night was not meaningless. It was not random. It carried a message beneath the surface. A message connected to people, memories, and future possibilities. And among those possibilities stands one surprising truth. The person mentioned. The person remembered. The person connected to that evening. They may be far more relevant to your story than anyone realizes. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Because the next part of this journey reveals even deeper layers of what may have happened, why it happened, and how it could connect to the path ahead. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning. A remarkable detail has not yet been revealed, and this is where the story becomes even more fascinating. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Last night was not only about conversations, memories, and unexpected connections. There was another layer hidden beneath everything that happened. While your soulmate was enjoying their evening, listening, speaking, and reflecting, there was a moment when everything seemed to pause. Not physically, but emotionally. A single detail caught their attention in a way they could not explain. It was small enough to be overlooked, yet powerful enough to stay in their mind long after the evening ended. The strange thing is that this detail was connected to a familiar energy. It felt close. It felt known. It felt as if the universe was quietly pointing toward something important. Your soulmate may not have understood it at the time, but their curiosity continued growing. The more they thought about it, the more questions appeared. Why did that moment feel different? Why did that conversation stay with them? Why did one particular memory refuse to disappear? Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine discovering that an ordinary evening contained clues about a future chapter. Imagine realizing that something mentioned casually could become meaningful later. That is exactly why this story matters. Because what happened was not dramatic on the surface. It was subtle, quiet, unexpected. Yet some of the biggest turning points in life begin with subtle moments. As the evening continued, more pieces started appearing. A story led to another story. A memory led to another memory. One topic opened the door to another topic. Then suddenly, a connection appeared that nobody expected. A familiar person entered the conversation. Not as the center of attention, but as a passing mention. Yet that mention carried weight. It carried significance. It carried the feeling that something larger was unfolding. Your soulmate noticed it immediately. Not because anyone told them to notice it. Not because anyone explained it. But because certain moments simply stand out. Certain names feel important. Certain details refuse to be forgotten. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more your soulmate listened, the more they felt that this was not a coincidence. There was something unusual about how the conversation unfolded. The timing was unexpected. The connection was unexpected. Even the emotions surrounding the moment felt different. It was as if invisible pieces were arranging themselves into a picture that nobody could fully see yet. Think about the most memorable conversations of your life. Often, the details you remember most are not the loudest ones. They are the quiet moments. The unexpected comments. The surprising connections. The things that seem insignificant at first and become meaningful later. That is exactly what happened last night. A seemingly ordinary evening quietly transformed into something unforgettable. And your soulmate left carrying a question they could not shake. What if this means something? What if this connection matters? What if this person is important? Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Hours later, after the evening had ended, the thoughts continued. The conversation replayed in their mind. The details replayed in their mind. Certain moments stood out more clearly than others. They remembered expressions. They remembered stories. They remembered specific words. And among all those memories, one connection remained impossible to ignore. It was not the loudest moment of the evening. It was not the longest moment of the evening. Yet it became the most memorable. Because sometimes one small clue can change everything. Sometimes one unexpected connection can reveal an entirely new perspective. Sometimes one familiar name can create a bridge between two worlds. And this is why you must stay with me. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason this story feels different. There is a reason this message continues building instead of ending. Because the evening itself was never the final destination. The evening was only the beginning. What truly matters is the realization that followed. Your soulmate began looking at things differently. They began noticing details differently. They began thinking about people differently. And most importantly, they began wondering whether certain connections were stronger than they had previously believed. What if paths are crossing in ways nobody can see? What if introductions are happening long before people officially meet? What if certain names keep appearing because they are connected to a larger story? These questions stayed with them. And every hour that passed seemed to make the mystery even stronger. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine waking up the next morning with a feeling that refuses to disappear. Imagine knowing that something from the previous evening still matters. Imagine sensing that a missing piece exists somewhere, waiting to be discovered. That is where your soulmate found themselves. Not confused. Not worried. Simply curious. Deeply curious. Because curiosity often appears before discovery. Curiosity often arrives before understanding. Curiosity often signals that an important chapter is getting closer. And that is exactly what makes this story so powerful. The connection did not disappear when the evening ended. It grew stronger. The questions did not disappear when the evening ended. They became clearer. The feeling did not disappear when the evening ended. It remained. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What if the person mentioned last night has no idea they are part of this story? What if they have no idea that their name created such curiosity? What if they have no idea that a simple mention sparked a chain of thoughts that continues even now? Life works in fascinating ways. Sometimes people influence events without realizing it. Sometimes they become important without knowing it. Sometimes they play a role in a future chapter long before that chapter begins. And this possibility is exactly what makes the story impossible to ignore. The evening is over. The conversations are over. The laughter has faded. The night has passed. Yet the mystery remains. The connection remains. The questions remain. And the feeling that something meaningful is approaching remains stronger than ever. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next chapter of this story, the hidden meaning behind the connection becomes even clearer. The reason that familiar name appeared begins to reveal itself. The reason the memory stayed alive begins to make sense. And the reason your soulmate cannot stop thinking about that evening may be far more surprising than anyone imagined. Something is unfolding. Something is aligning. Something remarkable is getting closer. And the biggest revelation has not even arrived yet. What happens next is where the mystery deepens in a way nobody expected. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. By now, your soulmate has replayed that evening in their mind more than once. Certain details have faded away, but one connection remains brighter than everything else. It is not because the conversation was extraordinary. It is because of how naturally everything unfolded. Sometimes the most meaningful clues arrive without effort. They arrive quietly, blend into ordinary moments, and only reveal their importance later. As the memories of that evening continued returning, your soulmate began noticing something unusual. The same thoughts kept appearing. The same questions kept returning. The same curiosity refused to disappear. It was almost as if their mind was trying to understand a message hidden between the lines. A message that was never spoken directly but could still be felt. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine hearing a story and then realizing days later that it connects to your own life. Imagine remembering a conversation and suddenly understanding why it stood out. That realization can be powerful because it changes the meaning of everything that came before it. Last night may have been one of those moments. The kind of moment that seems ordinary until the hidden significance begins revealing itself. Your soulmate started connecting details together. One memory linked to another. One thought linked to another. One familiar feeling linked to another. Slowly, a larger picture began forming. Not a complete picture. Not yet. But enough to create excitement. Enough to create anticipation. Enough to make them wonder whether something remarkable is approaching. And here is the fascinating part. The connection was not forced. The connection was not planned. The connection appeared naturally. That is why it feels so important. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are people who enter our lives for a moment and disappear. There are people who stay for years and teach us valuable lessons. Then there are people whose importance is not understood until much later. Their role remains hidden until the perfect moment arrives. Last night carried the energy of one of those hidden roles. A familiar person was mentioned. A familiar connection appeared. And suddenly the evening gained a deeper meaning. Your soulmate could feel it. Not with certainty. Not with complete understanding. But with intuition. A feeling that something about this connection matters. A feeling that there is more to the story. A feeling that the evening was pointing toward something larger. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As time passed, another realization appeared. The people who crossed paths during that evening may not understand how connected their stories truly are. Everyone sees only their own perspective. Everyone understands only their own part of the journey. Yet sometimes multiple stories are moving toward the same destination without anyone realizing it. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you discovered that two completely separate events were actually connected? How many times have you looked back and realized that something important was already unfolding long before you noticed it? That is the energy surrounding this story. An invisible connection becoming visible. A hidden detail becoming important. An ordinary evening becoming unforgettable. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that some moments deserve attention. Not because they provide immediate answers, but because they create meaningful questions. Questions are often the first sign that something valuable is approaching. Questions invite discovery. Questions invite growth. Questions invite clarity. And right now, there is one question standing above all the others. Why did that person come up in conversation? Why did that connection feel so significant? Why did that memory remain long after the evening ended? These questions continue echoing because the answers are getting closer. Closer than anyone realizes. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing at the edge of a new chapter without fully realizing it. Imagine sensing that change is approaching but not knowing exactly how it will arrive. That feeling is powerful because it creates anticipation. It creates possibility. It creates hope. Last night planted a seed. Not a seed of certainty. Not a seed of prediction. A seed of possibility. And possibilities have a remarkable way of growing when the timing is right. The evening may be over. But the impact is still unfolding. The conversations may have ended. But the meaning continues growing. The memories may be fading. But the connection remains stronger than ever. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising realization is that your soulmate was not searching for this connection. They were not expecting it. They were not trying to find meaning in every detail. Yet meaning appeared anyway. That is often how the most memorable experiences happen. They arrive unexpectedly. They appear naturally. They leave a lasting impression. And the more your soulmate reflects on the evening, the more convinced they become that something important is developing behind the scenes. Not because someone announced it. Not because someone explained it. But because the clues continue pointing in the same direction. A familiar connection. A memorable conversation. An unforgettable feeling. A mystery that refuses to disappear. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What if the reason that evening feels so important is because it represents a bridge? A bridge between the past and the future. A bridge between people who may be more connected than they realize. A bridge between questions and answers that have not yet arrived. That possibility changes everything. Because suddenly the evening is no longer just an evening. It becomes a turning point. A clue. A beginning. A chapter that matters. And your soulmate can feel that something is different now. The curiosity is stronger. The awareness is stronger. The anticipation is stronger. They know there is more to discover. They know there is more to understand. They know the story is far from over. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The remarkable truth is that life often reveals its greatest surprises one piece at a time. Rarely does everything appear at once. Instead, clues arrive gradually. Connections appear gradually. Understanding grows gradually. And that is exactly what is happening here. One evening. One conversation. One familiar connection. One unforgettable feeling. Together, they are creating a story that continues moving forward. A story that is becoming more meaningful with every passing day. A story that may eventually reveal why that connection appeared exactly when it did. And when that realization finally arrives, many things that seem confusing today may suddenly make perfect sense. The biggest revelation is still ahead. The deepest meaning is still waiting to be uncovered. And the most fascinating part of this journey has not even begun yet. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you.